Welcome to the Elliott Alert. My guest today is Mr. Charles Stewart, Chairman of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame Foundation. Welcome for coming.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me here.
Yes, sir. Now, Mr. Stewart, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you an Arkansas native? How did you come to the Black Hall of Fame, and what is the Black Hall of Fame?
Great, thank you. I'm from Little Rock. I was born actually in Sweet Home, Arkansas, right outside of Little Rock.
Oh, right.
And I have Pine Bluff roots. My father was raised here in Pine Bluff in Jefferson County.
Okay. And
there's a little place outside of here called Ladd.
Yeah.
And so that's the area that my family comes from. And so, but the Black Hall of Fame is an organization that was co-founded by me and Patricia Goodwin McCullough, who is from Pine Bluff.
Right, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Right, and so she was the director of the Minority Supplier Development Council, and said that she thought we should have a Hall of Fame, which was something that she had seen in Atlanta. And I had a concept that I had been trying to give to somebody to put together.
Right.
And so I was on the board of that organization. And so together we put the Hall of Fame together as a fundraiser for the Supplier Development Council. And we were affiliated with them until 2002, I believe. And then we formed our own Arkansas Black Hall of Fame Foundation as a separate 501c3 organization. And what the foundation does is first of all, we honor African Americans with Arkansas roots who have achieved national or international acclaim in their chosen fields. Okay. And then the money that we raise through our induction ceremony, we give away. I mean, we're a total volunteer organization, and we give away money to nonprofit organizations located in Black and other underserved communities to help to improve education, health and wellness, youth development, and economic development in those areas throughout Arkansas.
Okay. And you're saying that you guys help service that throughout the state of Arkansas?
Throughout the entire state. Each year we give away approximately 18 or 20 grants. And those grants range anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. And it's usually to grassroots organizations that would never be on the radar screen for many of the large foundations, but for whom $5,000, for example, can make a big difference in whether the little town of Waldo has a library or not. And so it's that kind of thing that we look to do to get involved and to give back to the community.
Now, what would qualify someone to be inducted into the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame? You know, I do some community stuff myself, but I don't know if it's good enough to be inducted into the Black Hall of Fame. Right.
I think, well, one thing, you have to have achieved national or international acclaim in your field. And so,
now, does it make a difference what field it is?
Well, what we do, we each year we try to honor people from a wide array of occupations and interests. And from that we then, well, as I said, you have to have Arkansas roots. You know, born in Arkansas or having spent a significant amount of time here and claim Arkansas as your home. So.
But when you say different fields, you would consider a politician who had ties in Arkansas, even maybe an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Let me give you an example. Last year we inducted a gentleman by the name of Charles Phillips. And Charles Phillips is the CEO currently of N4 Business Solutions, which is the third largest business software company in the world.
Wow.
And he was formerly the CEO of it's not, well,
Right. It'll come to you.
It'll come to me.
It'll come to you.
But one of the major software companies located out in the Silicon Valley.
And that's in California?
In California.
Wow.
And this gentleman is a multi-billionaire. And
he has Arkansas ties.
He has significant Arkansas ties. Was raised in Little Rock, went to school in Jacksonville, in the Jacksonville area, and so forth. And so we induct people from business and civic affairs and political affairs and entertainment. Each year we try to select at least one individual who is in the entertainment field. As I mentioned to you earlier, year before last we inducted Mr. Joe Jackson.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember you telling me
And
that.
Joe Jackson hails from Fountain Hill, Arkansas. And,
Fountain Hill, Arkansas.
And so he came back and just was a jewel to deal with. I mean, everybody, he gets sort of a bad reputation, but he was that absolute gentleman and one of the easiest people that we've had to deal with in the years of the Hall of Fame.
You know, sometimes people let reputations or different things make your mind up about people, but as long as people have Arkansas ties, you know, we got some good people here.
There's some good people, and Arkansas produces just tremendous people who in most cases have had to overcome some obstacles, which speaks to the tenacity and just the true grit of Arkansas people. And so we look for people in education and who've achieved. In fact, President Lawrence Davis, Prexy, was inducted several years ago into the Black Hall of Fame. And so it covers a wide array of fields and occupations.
Well, we have to go on break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about even more of those Arkansas natives that we have. They're doing great things that have been inducted. So we'll be right back.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Hi, my name is Danny Andre Burrell II, a senior here majoring in industrial technology, management, and applied engineering. I thought that I would be looking for a job at this point, but thanks to my mentor, Dr. Charles Colin and Career Services, I was able to obtain a position as an industrial engineer upon graduation.
Danny worked hard in class from the beginning, obtaining 3 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Danny for those same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. I have today my guest, Mr. Charles Stewart, Chairman of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame Foundation. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
Now, when we left and went on break, you were telling us about some of the great people who were being inducted into the Arkansas Hall of Fame, and we left out talking about how what a good person Joe Jackson was. He was a jewel to work with, as you said. Do we have any more people who are being inducted that you know, maybe this year or last year there was a treasure to work with?
Well, every year, you know, every year it's hard work for us to pull all this together and to you know, really execute a strong and a sound Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But each year,
and it's also a very prestigious and classy event.
It is, and we work to achieve that. And we've had, I've had, well, in fact, I've had a number of people who said that it's one of the classiest events that they attend, have ever attended, or that they attend every year. And so we really want to make it something special, and an evening unlike you will experience here in Arkansas, or equal to anything that you would experience in New York or California or Atlanta or whatever.
Exactly.
And it has become a well-respected institution in the state of Arkansas, because we work to put together a solid program, but also to raise money to put back into the state of Arkansas and its people. So.
Yeah, and it is. It's an outstanding event that you have to wear your Sunday's best.
It is actually a black tie event.
Yes.
But you know, I think that a lot of people like really dressing up and really, as they say, putting on the dog, as they say. But yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to see. You know, over 1,000 people in their finest, and it's also a very entertaining evening. So we work to make sure
with
that
great food as well.
Absolutely.
I've come a couple times. Matter of fact, I think the last one I went to is when Neo was inducted.
Right. I think that was about 3 or 4 years ago now.
About 3 years ago, and I mean it was a gala affair then. My wife and I had a remarkable time, and I mean it was just so phenomenal. And I'm just so glad to hear about all the natives or people who claim Arkansas that we have in the world that's doing so many great things.
Well, I think it says a lot about what Arkansas has become and is becoming. A lot of people left Arkansas and they go other places, and for a long time they didn't really want people to know that they were from Arkansas. But now we get people who are calling and saying, well, did you know that, you know, my uncle or my brother or my cousin or my, you know, my son is from Arkansas, and he's doing this. And so we then reach out to those people, and they're honored to be considered and honored to be inducted now. And so I think it speaks well of our state and the development that's taken place here, and the change in attitudes and so forth that is now today's Arkansas.
Okay. Now, is it hard making the decision? Because I'm sure you guys get so many names in that you have to go through a process of eliminating some of them. And I guess if you do that, is it an opportunity for somebody else to come back another year and be able to get that?
Absolutely. What we have done, we've started building a library of people who are nominated for the Hall of Fame, and because we only do 6 each year, and we always reach back and do a posthumous induction, someone who has passed on, so that we can continue to pick up that history as well. And so we're building this library of potential candidates for induction, and in any given year, based on the mix of people that we're trying to assemble for induction, we go to that library and pull out people, and then we get new nominations that we look at as well. And so just because they didn't get selected this year doesn't mean that it's over forever, but they are in the pool.
Okay. And the process is, if they're in the pool, do they have to wait? Maybe if let's say their name was in the pool and there were 10 other people named in the pool, if they didn't make it, does their name automatically go into the next year? Or
no, it's just a big library of names and biographies and articles and pictures and stuff that we have that we go through each year and consider.
Wow, that's got to be a lot of work. What kind of staff do you have?
It's a lot of work. I think I have one of the most phenomenal boards or committees of any nonprofit in the state of Arkansas, because they are dedicated and they're hardworking. And you know, the Hall of Fame is more than just the induction ceremony,
right?
Because we also have in February a Distinguished Laureate series where we bring back one of the persons who've been inducted in previous years to do whatever their thing is. In fact, our first of that series, we've had 4, but our first of that series featured Mr. Jimmy McKissick from here in Pine Bluff in concert at in the Great Hall of the Clinton Presidential Center, and then he did a lecture at the Mosaic Temperance Cultural Center. So each year we do that, and then that's in February, and then also in February our grant cycle opens up when we start receiving grant applications, and then in June we award those grants to various nonprofits. And then we're back into preparing for the Black Hall of Fame. But it's a full year, all year round thing now. And our people are just so dedicated, and they actually love the work, and I think they love the institution of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame.
That's great. Well, we're going to go on break, but when we come back, we'll talk more about the Black Hall of Fame.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
Hey, listen up. We have a challenge. A big challenge. Many African Americans fighting diseases like leukemia, lymphoma, and sickle cell anemia can't find marrow donors. We need more African Americans to step up. Step up. You could be the one to save a life. You can be the match. Take the first step at bethematch.org. Step your game up.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Elliott Alert. I'm here today with my guest, Mr. Charles Stewart, Chairman of Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. And we were just talking about some of the great things that you guys do, not only in the community, but for the state of Arkansas and all the wonderful people that we have here. Now, can you tell me, you mentioned the grant process. How, per year, how much do you guys kind of give back to the community or to those other nonprofit organizations?
We give, this year we gave away $60,000, and as I said, the grants are $1,000 to $5,000, so there's 20 grants that we made this year to nonprofit organizations throughout Arkansas, and our grants to date have impacted over 49 of Arkansas' 75 counties.
That's amazing.
With a very heavy concentration in the Arkansas Delta area.
Yes.
So we're very pleased to those numbers, and our goal is to get that up to $100,000 a year, and we were tracking along that line until the recession. We had to kind of kind of retreat a little
Right,
bit.
I understand that.
But we've regrouped and we're back in full force.
Right.
Full force. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, that's amazing out of the 75 counties to have that kind of impact on those rural communities in the county, because even some of the people that you guys are honoring are from those areas and have made very successful lives of themselves. And for them to come back and be honored, I think that's amazing.
Well, it's you know, one of the things that we say is that you don't know in what mind God has planted what seeds of genius.
That's right.
You know, for example, it's you know, you get a person like Dr. Oliver Baker, who is from down the road in McGee, Arkansas, who is now,
Right.
Dr. Baker's now a physics professor at Yale University.
Wow.
And is involved, was leading the team for Yale that helped to discover the Higgs boson, or the God particle.
Wow.
Which is the essence of, this is the matter that holds together, which is the force that holds together all matter in the universe. And this, you know, it's just an amazing, and he's
coming from McGee.
Coming from McGee, or Dr. Samuel Kuntz, who perfected the technique for kidney transplantation, and he's a graduate of Arkansas A&M, but also is from Lexa, Arkansas.
Wow.
So we
can you
invest
imagine,
in the, yeah.
Can you imagine if our kids really knew this history? I mean,
well, one thing that, you know, this is our 25th induction ceremony this year, and we have something planned very special for the 25th one.
Okay.
This is the 21st one.
Right.
We have something planned for the 25th one, and we hope to, in working with the Humanities Council and so forth, to actually write a book, publish a book that will be a compilation of all of the history of the people who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame at that 25th year. So.
Now, you have to tell me, because we discussed a little bit, we have some people who are being inducted this year with some Pine Bluff or Jefferson County ties.
Yeah, this is the first time this has happened, and you know, and we were just looking at the people and their backgrounds and what they had done, and then once we got it all put together, we noticed that, you know, in fact, 5 of the 6 have Jefferson County ties.
Right.
2 of them are graduates of UAPB.
Okay.
2 of them are actual natives of Pine Bluff, and 1, Chief Master Richard Anderson, has a Taekwondo school here in Pine Bluff.
He does. And
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
in the mall.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is the first time that that's happened. But the people that are being inducted, I'd like to give you that rundown. Is that Chief Master Richard Anderson, who is the highest ranking African American in all of Taekwondo.
Wow.
And out of some 400,000 members. And then he has the Taekwondo schools that he's taught over 20,000 young people, the disciplines that are involved in that martial arts. And so, and then Regine Montague, who was did the first computer draft for construction of a battleship for the United States Navy.
Wow.
Also a graduate of UAPB, and that's the model that they use now to construct all battleships. Mr. Gerald Alley, and the Alley family has, you know, very strong roots here in Pine Bluff, and he's a noted businessman and philanthropist.
Yes.
And from Jefferson, Arkansas, Mr. Morris Hayes, who is the music director for Prince.
Wow.
And the New Power Generation Orchestra, and is a graduate of UAPB. And then we're also inducting, the posthumous induction this year is Mr. Art Porter Jr., internationally known recording artist and performer, and then Mr. Willie Rofe, who is also here from here in Pine Bluff. So Pine Bluff is just all over it this year. So.
Are we talking about Willie Rofe, the football player?
Football player,
okay,
football Hall of Famer, yeah.
Outstanding, outstanding. He is most definitely a native of Pine Bluff. Now, can you tell me, if somebody wanted to be a part of your organization, volunteer, how would they get in contact with you?
They would go on our website. All of the information is on our website, www.arblackhalloffame.org. And then we have a phone number, 501-708-2552.
Okay.
We'll also get them information not only about the Hall of Fame, but about the induction ceremony and how they can purchase tickets and so forth. And we really would love to have the Pine Bluff community and the Jefferson County community to come out and support their own. I think it's going to be a great night, just a phenomenal evening.
That is wonderful. And remember, Jefferson County, come out. What's the date?
October the 19th, and it's at 7:30 in the Wally Allen Ballroom of the State House Convention Center.
Well, Mr. Stewart, it has been a pleasure, and I just want to let you know you've just been placed on alert.
Thank you. It feels good to be on alert. Thank you so much.